All right. It's been a while since I've made Facebook Rad again. I did some more participation in Bourbon Heritage Month in September, but I didn't really make any more videos. I didn't really get a time to make any more videos, so I kind of stopped after doing 2 reviews of the Wild Turkey Specialty bourbon. So we're gonna get back to that. I did 2 already. I did the Wild Turkey Tribute, and I did the American Spirit. I'm gonna do those again today, but I'm also gonna do the Wild Turkey Tradition, and I'm gonna do the Wild Turkey Diamond Anniversary, and I'm gonna do the Wild Turkey Masters Keep, and I'll kind of tell you a little bit about those as we go along. I won't spend a lot of time talking about the Tribute or the American Spirit, just because pretty much I did those recently, so I remember from that early September that the Tribute I liked quite a bit better than the American Spirit. Let's see how the other 3 stack up towards those first 2. All right, so this is the Tribute again. Yeah, that's got that really sweet nose, like a little bit of toffee, a little bit of brown sugar, caramely kind of. Not really alcohol-y. This one, if you remember, was it was distilled in 1989, aged for 15 years, and released in 2004 as a tribute to master distiller Jimmy Russell, being with the distillery for 50 years at that point in 2004. So this was a celebration to 50 years with Jimmy Russell. He started with Wild Turkey in 1954. So, and he's actually still with them today. He shares the master distiller duties, however, with his son Eddie. That's good stuff. This time I get a little more earth. A little more green grass than I remember getting on the previous time, but still really good. And not a lot of alcohol burn for that one is 50.5% alcohol or 101 proof. The Wild Turkey is pretty well known for doing stuff at 101 proof. Then we have some sweet tea. The best way to cleanse your palate in between whiskey is sweet tea, actually. Water works, but I like sweet tea. All right, so the next one, and I remember not liking this one quite as well, but if you remember about this one was released 3 years later in 2007, was distilled in 92 and aged for 15 years again. This is the only, this is a pretty sought after bottle because it has the distinction of being the only released Wild Turkey had ever done that was bottled in bond. And bottled in bond has some specific rules to it, and those are that it has to be bottled at 50% alcohol, 100 proof, and it has to be all whiskey distilled in one season from the same facility. There's no blends, it's all the same batch, it's all, so quite a bit of rules with that. So let's and I think maybe that's why they didn't really hit a flavor profile with this one, because it all had to be the same product. Sometimes if you don't really hit a flavor profile, you can blend some stuff and make a different taste. But yeah, this one doesn't smell as sweet. Getting a little bit of leather in that one, and I think that's similar to what I got last time. So. But yeah, a little sweet too. Yeah, that one's a little more tannic, a little more alcohol burn. Definitely super earthy on the finish in that one. Even some leather. I get some of that leather in the taste as well. So let's cleanse the palate and move on. All right. The next glass is Wild Turkey Tradition, and this one was released in 2009. It was distilled in 95 and aged for 14 years. And this one's back to the 101 proof, 50.5% alcohol. So yeah, this was just two years after the other. But one year younger. But obviously, between 14 and 15 years isn't a huge difference. So this is even less sweet than the other two, than the American Spirit. Actually, there's not a lot of nose on this either way. It's not really pleasant or unpleasant. Almost has a nose of like a spring breeze or like clean laundry, which is interesting. I haven't had a lot of whiskey that was kind of like that previously. Wow. So, one thing that's interesting about this one is that so far, this is a lot heavier. It's a heavier body, and it's got a really oily mouthfeel. So, yeah, that was definitely something that was distinct over the previous two. This has, like a super oily mouthfeel. But again, this one's also pretty earthy. Definitely green grass and stuff. Like I said, on the nose of it, I got that clean linen kind of spring breeze nose on it. Maybe tobacco in the nose of that. Just a little bit. Anyway. Yeah, definitely tobacco on the finish of that as well. Alright. So, moving on to number 4. Actually, first off, I guess I'll kind of show the bottle of the Tradition, because I haven't really talked about this one. This is a bottle. Comes with a really heavy-duty metal cork in that one. Comes in also like a pretty heavy-duty metal base and a wooden box that kind of snaps over the top on that one. It was a really nice package when I bought that. And that one is actually the first one I bought at the time. The other ones I had to seek out after they were released after the fact, but in 2009 I was collecting, so that was one of the first nicer bottles I bought upon release. The next one here is Wild Turkey Diamond Anniversary. So this was released again to celebrate Jimmy Russell. This time, it was his 60th anniversary with the distillery. So, like I said, the 50th anniversary was in 2004. This one was released in the spring of 2014. But this time they did a blend. It was a blend of 13 to 16-year-old whiskeys at that time. That were distilled between the spring of 98 and the spring of 2001. So I think there's a certain flavor profile they're looking for at this one. And it was put together and blended by Eddie Russell. This one they kind of they threw a little more water in. 91 proof, 45.5% alcohol. So 91 is still a pretty respectable, it's not a crazy amount of water. I like things in and around that 90, 91, 94 even. It doesn't really allow you to add your own water and open it up at all, like you can do with some of the stuff over 100, but generally they add the water before they bottle it for two reasons. One is to make more whiskey and sell more whiskey. The other reason is it's got a certain flavor profile they're looking for. So this has got a similar nose on it to the Tradition, the product from 5 years prior, but similar nose on it, except for definitely not ton of nose on this one. But not the earthy, not the leathery, and not the fresh linen either. This is more of like a baked goods, like a bakery kind of nose on it. So not super thick, sweet like brown sugar caramel, but yeah, definitely a little bit of brown sugar in this. So, definitely a pretty oaky finish on that one. The oak really comes through, and I wouldn't, not really the leathery the previous. I can get some of that fresh cut grass in there, but some cinnamon, there's a bit of spice to it. There's not a lot of rye in this mash bill, but it almost tastes like there is, like a mint or a cinnamon. One thing I will say about this one is it's a lot thinner than the tradition. That one was a really, really oily mouthfeel, and this has a really thin mouthfeel as compared to the tradition. It's almost a disappointment just because it's for the 60th anniversary, and I think it's really not quite the product that the one for the 50th anniversary was. I thought it'd be better. I thought they would do certainly. I don't know that I've ever compared the two before. I've definitely had some of the 60, I've had some of the 50, but I don't think I've ever had them at the same time. So yeah, that's to be honest, it's okay, but it's a bit of a disappointment. The mouthfeel is too thin, and it's really just a lot of wood. Hits you hardcore with the oak. Yeah, just a thin mouthfeel, a lot of oak, a little bit of cinnamon and mint on the finish, but. All right, the final one and the newest one I'm doing today is the Wild Turkey Master's Keep, and they actually do this yearly now, but this is the first, the batch number 1, it says here on the box. So this one, let's see, I'll grab it out of the box here quick. Comes in a pretty nice package. Another one with a pretty heavy duty metal topper with a cork. Nice raised glass on the bottle. So, like the bottle says, distilled in 1998, aged 17 years, released in 2015. This is the newest one I've got, and I haven't bought any of the ones after that because it's just since then they haven't really done anything different. It's just been different iterations of the Master's Keep. So I just kind of haven't really got those, but so yeah, like I said, this one, Master's Keep, 17 years. The letdown on this one is that it's 86.8 proof or 43.4% alcohol. So to me, that's a little too much water. Yeah, I definitely like stuff to be bourbon to be a little higher than that. But you know, yeah, I mean, I suppose it's still better than like you know, widely commercially available stuff. Your Jack Daniels and stuff is 80 proof or whatever. But so anyway, this is also, it's the least alcohol of all of them, but it also is the oldest aged. So I'm interested to see how that will play out. It has more nose on it than the last two. The last two had really no nose on them. And this one, I wouldn't say is a really earthy nose, but again, I definitely get some. This one's got definitely some cinnamon on it. Not the really super sweet of the Tribute, that brown sugar toffee. I love that nose on that. That one, I think, out of all of these, actually is probably my favorite. But this is actually probably my second favorite as far as the nose on them go. This one's really, it's a really nice nose on it. All right, so let's see what the whiskey tastes like. All right, you know what? I really like that. It's got that oily mouthfeel. Not quite as heavy as the Tradition, but still a really pretty medium mouthfeel. Kind of cold to your mouth, and then not a super alcohol burn and not a really earthy taste. That Master's Keep is probably my second favorite of the bunch. I'd say the first one, that Tribute, is my favorite. This Master's Keep is my second favorite. Their Tradition, because of the mouthfeel. The third one I tasted, the 14-year, that would be my third favorite. The Diamond Anniversary, the 60th Anniversary is my fourth, and that American Spirit is still it's still my least favorite of the bunch. So, hope you had a fun time on this Tasting Tuesday, making Facebook rad again. I'm sorry this video is so long, but I hope you learned a little something about some bourbon, and some things to smell for, some things to taste for. Have a good rest of your day.